These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, February 23rd, after the Celtics took down the Indiana Pacers in their first game out after the All-Star break, 142-138. Very little defense played in this game. Went to overtime, so the scores are a bit inflated because of that, but there is that. But before we get into that, I need to brag. Very little context. So Sam and I were looking to record tomorrow originally, which is going to come out the day of Celtics next game. But Sam texted me, he said, "Hey, do you want to record tonight instead?" I was hesitant because I had just started playing video games.
Yeah, sometimes
however,
you shut down and you want to call it a day. I get it.
It happens, but it is smarter.
There was no issue with that. Just to clarify.
No. I didn't get mad at Sam or anything. No beef here, but it is smarter to record tonight. Get you guys a pod during the off day. However, I did sneak two games of gang. Exactly. I did sneak 2 games of Rocket League in though before we recorded. Happy to report, I am now diamond in Rocket League.
Wow.
I am very.
It goes pleased. Bronze, silver, gold, diamond.
Bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond.
I don't think I ever got to diamond.
Yes. So
I used to play back in the day.
Bronze and silver are a myth. No one's bronze and silver unless you literally don't have thumbs. No one is bronze and silver.
What mode were you playing?
We were playing duos. There were 2s. I was playing with my buddy Ian. I am plat 2, I think, in 3s still. Went on a rough losing streak last night. Ugly. I got very tilted.
You got tilted?
Oh, I was so mad. We played because I was playing like by myself in 3s, like with randoms, and I wanted a nice win streak. Got myself to plat 3, div 4, like 2 wins away, like 1 division, 2 wins away from diamond. And then I played with some of my friends, and we played say we played 10 games, we lost 9 of them. Just free.
Oh man,
disaster! It was terrible. I was very angry.
And it was probably like 2:30, 3 a.m. when you wrapped, and you didn't want to wake anybody up, but you were real mad.
Oh, I was so mad. No, it was a little earlier because I cooled down. Okay. I played some Overwatch later with our old friend Liam. Yes. Overwatch is fun because I don't really know what's going on in Overwatch, so I kind of just run around and like do random stuff and hope it works. And there's something about blissful ignorance that is fun to just run around and do nothing in a video game. But yes, I'm very happy. I've never been diamond in Rocket League. I started, I think, low plat, and I worked my way up. And I started gold in 3s too. So I've grinded my way up here, and I'm very, very happy with this meaningless achievement. It's
put it on the resume,
exactly.
In the Twitter bio, take a screenshot for the header.
I will say I'm hesitant. I think we're gonna play later after we record, and I'm very nervous that I'm just gonna immediately drop back down to play.
Yeah, you might
start losing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, so I would play a ton of MLB in the summer when there wasn't any basketball. And the way MLB works is similar to Rocket League, where it's like kind of like a point system. And so when you play, you're essentially gambling rank. And you get to a point where you don't even want to play because you're happy with where you're at.
Exactly.
And that's where it becomes a problem.
That's dangerous. It's real.
Even though I will say this, when I was playing MLB, very rarely would I get upset with the game. It was like I felt like it was on me if I was messing up. It's not like 2K where you feel like you're getting screwed. And you don't get that in MLB, which is why I liked it a lot. But
my favorite thing in Rocket League is I like to blame the opponents for being. The way I justify it is they're so bad I don't know if they're gonna miss or hit it. So like I'll assume they're gonna hit the ball, so I go to block it, but then they whiff, and then they like his teammate scores, and I'm like, it's just they're so bad that I can't tell what they're gonna do next because they don't know what they're gonna do next.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like you play somebody, and you're so used to what the correct play is.
Exactly.
And they don't make it, and it surprises you.
Yeah.
When I used to play Rocket League, best part of Rocket League is the game chat where you can send the quick messages. So
what a save.
The quick chat's always fine. But I was playing on Xbox. So on Xbox, if you don't know, a couple years ago they made it so you can make your own profile picture. You don't have to pick from the default pictures. Yes. So if you have the Xbox app on your computer, phone, iPad, whatever it may be, you can upload whatever picture you want. Well, they look at it, so you don't put anything really crazy. But anyways, I made my picture, my friend Frank, for a while. It was my friend Frank.
Amazing.
And people would tell me I was ugly, which was the best. So then I made it Frank's dad. And then Frank's dad was catching strays. But Frank's dad's the greatest.
Brutal.
Quick Frank's dad story.
Yes.
One day, three of my friends, or two friends and I had went to Twin River, which is our casino here in Rhode Island. And so Frank is a friend of mine, and his cousin Joe is also a friend of mine. And me and my two other friends bump into their dads, who are brothers, at the casino. And Frank's dad just goes, "It's been a rough one, boys. I've lost this many." And he holds up 4 fingers like this. And Frank was none too happy when he got the messages in the group chat. Frank just catching strays all over the place. Rocket League, his dad's at the casino. Speaking of catching strays.
Yes.
I now, if you do not follow me on Twitter, 1, you're missing out. But 2, I tweeted this morning, start to my day. I go into the coffee shop. I always go into the one with the famous ex-coworker. Ex-coworker is working, by the way. Greets me, says hello, and mentions that I'm in earlier than usual, which is true. I was early today.
Yeah.
And some old guy at the counter goes, "Well, you know, they're off school this week. He's in because he's not in school." And then I said, I'm 24. And
what did he say?
I don't know, but it was fantastic. Everybody was laughing, including me. See, I can laugh at myself.
Yes.
You went to the wrong person. You ruined their day.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I also get confused for much younger than I am. Which when you get older, it's
my looks. Whether it's someone telling me I had plastic surgery, or not recognizing me at a funeral, or telling me I look like I should be in school. I mean, what do you want out of me?
Very tough. See, being thought of as younger, like once your 40s, 50s, it's a good thing. Right now, it's just tough look.
I mean, I even tried growing a mustache, which was not a good effort. Well, the worst thing about the mustache, I don't know if I told the story on the pod, but I definitely told it to people, is I probably had it for like a month, and it didn't look like much. And then I was at work, and my friend at work goes, "How long have you been growing that?" And then I realized like the answer's far too long, and I went home and shaved immediately.
It's gotta go.
Day up, went home, shaved it off. Said that's enough of that.
This is not a facial hair friendly podcast. Facial hair is not friendly to us.
I mean, I don't know what to do. I get it, but it's just enough to where I look dirty, and it doesn't look good.
It looks it's too scruffy. It doesn't work, unfortunately. But anyways, enough of that. We can get into some Celtics because I think there's plenty to talk about from this Pacers game. I know you're probably very angry, but at the very least, it was entertaining.
Got to tell you, not thrilled at all.
Entertaining game, but not great for the Celtics.
You say entertaining, I say frustrating.
If you have a rant, I'll let you go on it now before we get into the talk.
Yeah, so listen, when teams want to tank, they typically would play the way the Celtics played down the stretch. Meaning they had, I want to say, an 8-9 point lead in the fourth quarter against a team that's not 500. Granted, they have been out without Haliburton for a chunk of the season.
They're an okay team when healthy, yes.
They are an okay team. However, Celtics, by the words of many, should be the best team in the league. So what do? They say, "Here, please beat us." And they do absolutely everything they can in the fourth quarter, with some help of the gods for the Pacers, to try and help them win the game. You have Miles Turner making 8 threes in the game, which is annoying enough. You have Jason Tatum smoking a layup in the last minute, then turning the ball over. Then Jaylen Brown had missed 2 free throws out of 3 on a shot that should not have been a foul, by the way. But that's another story.
The Buddy Hield thing, that was a foul.
It's a bad shot. You shouldn't get rewarded for that.
But you shouldn't get rewarded for
that. He's 2 feet in front of him, if that, and he goes up for the shot. I don't know what you want.
You can't touch him when he's in the air, though, right? Buddy Hield can't put his arm on him while he's in the air. That's a foul. You just can't do that.
I'm not convinced any touch that was made had any impact on the shot.
You can't do it, though. That's an automatic foul. If you reach your hand out and you touch a guy in midair, it's going to be a foul. Anyway,
they're too soft on these fouls. We've talked about it many a time. Brown missed 2 of the 3.
Yes.
And then imagines Al Horford to be 12 feet tall and throws the ball into the crowd with 22 seconds to play.
We'll get into it, but that was horrendous. That was not only
terrible.
Not only did he miss the pass, he could have passed it to Al Horford 3 seconds earlier for a wide open layup.
Could have
and he
passed
just
to him 3 seconds
didn't.
earlier. Could have not rushed the ball up the floor and really held for what could have been the last shot.
Could have not thrown it to fucking Jack the Giant. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It was a time to be watching a game.
I think I just Jack the Giant's incorrect. I meant Jack and the Beanstalk. Like I was trying to make like the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk.
You're really not good with the
no.
Is that a fairy tale? A folk tale?
Something like
the
that.
hell is it?
I'm not quick enough on my feet to make the reference. You get the point. He threw it 20 feet in the air.
The alliteration works. We'll allow it.
Sure. Thank you.
There could have been like further wrong things to say.
Sure. We got there. It was good enough. Anyways, bad pass. Point.
Bad pass.
Yes.
Then you're in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot harder than it needed to be at first, too. I mean, I swear to God, for like the last 10 minutes of the game, they didn't get one stop.
Mm-hmm.
Until like the very end of the game, they must have let him score every time.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean,
the second half was bad. They were on fire. In fairness to the Celtics defense, they were on fire. They made a lot of threes.
However, Miles Turner made 8 threes. That's a lot of threes. He was getting open threes. It's not like
not a lot of defense on Miles Turner.
Yeah, it was completely open. And so will he make that many threes again, even if they're wide open? Probably not. But you can't give the guy wide open threes. You already saw him made a bunch at the start of the game, and then you continue to leave him open. Of course he's going to be hot. Right? Like they did to themselves. You can sit there and complain. And I even I tweeted it because it's funny, right? Players play well against Celtics. That's the joke. But in this case, you can't just give up the open threes because, of course, the guy's going to make it once he's hot. That's my thing, right? Because the defense was just bad enough where they allowed him to get hot. Same thing with Haliburton. I saw somebody on Twitter say, like, Haliburton made this ridiculous 35-foot three. Yeah, because he was already hot, right? Because the Celtics gave him enough looks. Like, he was getting to the hoop at will. Tyrese Haliburton could get whatever he wanted.
Dude, I'm telling you, they didn't get any stops.
None.
They said, all right, charity time, free baskets for everybody. Nice. I mean, what a terrible display in the second half as a whole, and more specifically down the stretch. That was a game you should have won easy. Mm-hmm. You're up 10 at the half. It gets cut down to 1 going, or 3 into the fourth. I believe they were up 3.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
Then you get it back up close to 10, and then you give up the lead again. You go down. And luckily, Brogdon's playing out of his mind and is making some big shots for you.
Great game.
Tatum
Derek White
makes a couple big ones after being ice cold for the whole game. I mean, you're lucky to win that game against the Pacers.
Absolutely.
You should have been ready to go. They came into the Garden a month ago, however long it was, blew you out by 30 in the first half. You almost came back, but you couldn't ice it off. Doesn't that sit with you? Don't you think about that as a team that's supposed to be a juggernaut this season? A team that comes into your home arena and kind of embarrasses you a bit. You had the edge for a little bit there, but then you took your foot off the gas, which is the thing I hate the most. Now, to their credit, you got to give them credit. They were busting their ass on the offensive glass, on the hustle plays on the defensive end. They were making it. Hauser, couple blocks, bunch of offensive rebounds, everybody chipping in there. That was a good showing. The effort, pretty good showing. I would say. I didn't feel like they were out there trying to at least watch as a loss happen. They may have been contributing to a loss.
The hustle was there. The execution was not.
Exactly.
It was a very rough game for the Celtics in terms of execution. Miles Turner got whatever he wanted. Tyrese Haliburton was dissecting the defense at will. Ben Mather had an okay game, right? Daniel Tice with a couple huge blocks. Shout out to Tice, though. I love Tice.
Did your pregame pick hit?
What was my pick?
6.5 assists for Marcus. I don't know if it did. He might have got there in overtime.
No, he only had 3 assists.
Marcus, by the way, excellent overtime.
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
Captain puts his team on his back. Who could have told you that?
Derek White over 1.5 threes though did hit for me, so I'll take that.
All right, claim that one. Mine hit and Devin's hit. Smash the odds hit. So
there you go.
Is that a sweep? Half sweep? Because Jack just throws out as many picks and hopes one sticks.
I cheat a little bit, but that's okay. Rough game for the Celtics. Not fun.
They still won.
They still
Spin
won.
Zone.
They grinded it out.
They said, "Hey, we got Philly Saturday. Let's play an extra quarter."
Yeah, there you go. Right there you go. But I want to talk smart Haliburton because that was a big thing during the game. Got a little chippy. Marcus Smart backing Haliburton down in the post. Haliburton called for a foul. They got in each other's faces a little bit. Fast forward a little bit. Marcus Smart gives him the good old flex. Doesn't get teched up. Pacers bench complains. Then he gets teched up. Didn't love that.
Nope, don't like
Now,
that kind of thing.
hear me out. Did Marcus Smart deserve a tech? Yes. That's a tech, right? You get a tech for doing that. But you don't get a tech. If the refs don't give him a tech when it happens, you can't give him a tech after the ref complains. That's ridiculous, right? Like
I hate
that doesn't make sense. And Marcus Smart argued that Haliburton should have gotten a tech for what he was doing earlier, and then Smart got it. It was a big mess. And then later in the game, Smart was talking trash again because Mathurin did some stuff that was funny.
They got the tech back. They got it.
That's
back.
where the entertainment was, in my opinion. I think that's where most of the entertainment was.
Got it back.
And then. Yeah, I don't know. I loved it. I think the Haliburton Marcus Smart thing, I don't think players should get texts for stuff like that because I think who tweeted it? Maybe it was Keith, maybe it was someone else. Something along the lines of, people complain that the NBA isn't physical and isn't, intense enough, and then players get teched up for stuff like this, right? Like no crap, it's not going to be intense. No shit, it's not going to be, the 80s and 90s because players are getting teched up for expressing emotion, right? Jason Tatum will get teched up for clapping to himself. Right, like you can't show emotion or you're going to get a tech. So of course it's going to be quote unquote softer. Which I mean, I hate that argument.
It's kind of harmless, really.
Yeah, like they're intense.
Who is really getting like slighted if you don't call a tech there? No,
I didn't see it, but I guarantee you, after the game, Smart and Haliburton dapped up or like
they don't
showed
care.
Respect to each other.
They don't
know what
care.
I'm saying? It's all in the heat in the moment. I love Haliburton going at Smart, mean mugging him and like fighting with him. I love Marcus Smart going like this or whatever.
Also, not forgotten, Haliburton, very similar arms to mine. None too big.
Skinny arms, Haliburton. Hey, he was holding his own though. I'll give him his credit. He was down there. He was battling in the post.
Not in the post. He had a block on the perimeter. Long arms, post, no chance.
Fair enough. On the perimeter,
not a lot of people are going to defend Marcus in the post, though. He's really excellent in the post.
No. It was fun at the very least. I respect Haliburton for it. I love Haliburton. I know you do too.
I like him. He's fine.
Cool.
They play him in the playoffs. Now, this happens. Might feel a little different right now. No problem with it.
I will say, Mathurin's thing was a tech. You can't go at a ref. Like that's going to be a tech. But like the player-to-player interactions, like let those.
To me, that's the purpose of the tech is to protect the official.
Or maybe like in a coach. If you like go at an opposing coach, like that's something. But like player-to-player interactions,
you gotta really be putting the ref at risk.
Yeah,
you can say the coach too, or like significant risk to the player.
Yeah, if it's like disrespect though to a ref or anything like that, like, or I'm trying to like clarify it. Like if it is just like a competitive thing, maybe it's not like it shouldn't be a tech. But like an example, I just thought of like Joe Ingles like disrespectfully tapping Blake Griffin on the head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you remember that from the Bucks game?
No, I don't remember that.
Joe Ingles got a tech during the Bucks game because he and Blake Griffin, like I forget if it was like
I thought it was friendly.
I thought it was too, and then I saw Blake's reaction, and I don't think it was friendly. Joe Ingles like patted him on the head after like a screen or something.
All right, so in that case,
it's funny.
Is TJ McConnell doing the Cornette contest at Cornette after making a mid-range over him attack?
That's the equivalent of the Marcus Smart, like
You think so?
Man. I think it's the same intent. It's just the refs don't recognize the taunt.
I mean, you gotta be honest. Right? If you're Cornette and he does that to you, gotta fight him.
I saw you tweet this. That was fire.
You gotta fight him. You can't let him do that to you.
See, I think the refs probably didn't recognize what McConnell was doing. I do think it was like it was probably a bit more lighthearted than Smart's mean mug. Like I said, I don't think either's a tech, but like I understand why.
That's one of the more disrespectful things I've ever seen on a court.
It was very funny though. I'll give McConnell that. It was hilarious.
That's up there with like Reggie Miller grabbing his balls.
I loved it. I mean, I'm a Celtics fan or a Celtics guy, and I loved it. Like that was amazing.
How great would it be if he just started like fighting him though? Like he just like runs after him, and McConnell's like a little bit quicker than him, so he can't catch him. But like Cornette's really trying. It's like watching like Scooby-Doo when they go through all the different doors and they're trying to catch him. It would be something like that.
See, my thing is, I wish McConnell hit him with the too small. Just hit Luke Cornett with the baby.
I like the too small, but it's starting to become a bit much. Like everyone's doing the too small. You got to be a little bit more creative. See,
It's
like
funny, at least.
you got to give McConnell credit. He was very creative in his taunt. Okay, you're doing the too small.
That was good.
The too small has only been done a million times. All right,
sure.
Figure something else out.
I understand.
Do like put like the L on your forehead if you have to. I don't care.
Now,
do something different.
I had this debate on Twitter with Daniel Porch of Celtics blog. We went back and forth about it. He was arguing that I think he said something along the lines of, there's no reason Luke Cornett should be in this game over Mike Muscala. And my argument was, I think he should be. And again, it doesn't matter, but I'm just curious as to what you think about this. Basically, let me pull up the logs. And again, this is very minimal, but I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was interesting. Muscala is a DMP tonight against the Pacers.
Did not check in.
No, and that's what DMP means. Sorry, I'm being an asshole. But he's been pretty good since joining the Celtics at the deadline. So it was interesting.
Confident, to say the very least. Not a shot he sees that he doesn't like.
Yeah, confident is definitely the thing. Daniel saying, don't think I understand playing Cornett over Muscala. I said interior defense, I assume, don't need Muscala's shooting as much with a fully healthy team, which I stand by and we can talk about. I'm not sure Cornett's really better rim protector, to be honest. It's at least a wash. And I said I couldn't disagree more.
I disagree with that.
I think Cornett's been pretty serviceable on defense this year. Muscala's gotten picked apart in the limited minutes I've seen him on defense. And my thing was basically like, I think Cornett's been a much, much better defender than Muscala has been this year. He's obviously not switchable. Muscala gets absolutely blown by. And Luke Cornett's interior defense is far better than Muscala's, in my opinion. Now, Muscala is obviously the much more versatile offensive player. Like he definitely gives you more in that end. But with a fully healthy team, you have, Brogdon, you have Derek White, you have Sam Hauser, you have everybody available to you. I don't necessarily think you need that extra shooting as much as you need, some better defense in certain spots when you can roll out all these guys in offense. And my other thing is, I kind of view Muscala as a second Hauser who's not as quick on defense rather than another big, if that makes sense. And that's a little bit weird.
It's kind of a mix.
He's definitely in between, but I don't think you can comfortably play him in the same situations at center that you play Luke Cornett, because I just don't think the defense is there for him.
I think Cornett's always going to be the safer option. I think his size is something you can really utilize, being the 7'2" individual that he is. Definitely helps you out. I think his interior defense is pretty solid, like you said. Decent shot blocker. You can trust him inside. He has good hands underneath on the offensive end.
Yeah, and also
fill in the Rob role.
Asterisk here. We're talking about like 4 minutes, so this really isn't a big deal, but it's just something we came up with.
Well, you see, like this game went into overtime. All right, so those 4 minutes those 4 minutes go wrong.
Sure.
This podcast, very, very different.
And hey, Luke
you
was
might not have got
-4.
stories at the beginning if they lost this game.
Cornett was a -4, so hey, maybe I'm wrong. But also
Cornett
of
was
note,
fine. He's always fine. It's the third string big. This is the thing. Speaking of third string bigs, Tice was on the other end tonight. Good to see him. Good to see he's out there, still getting a bad whistle. But like people last year ripping Tice, like these are like the third string bigs. Like, what do you want now? Tice, the only reason I kind of get it is because he's making $8 million. But like Cornett makes no money. Like, why do you care? No. What better service are they going to get for that fee? None.
Also interesting, Grant Williams 6 minutes tonight. Did not play a lot against.
Don't like the shooting sleeve on Grant Williams.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I think it looks stupid. He no shooting sleeve for him. He's too big.
What do you make of that? Do you think he didn't play a lot because Hauser was so good?
Maybe they need him. Matchups, like really, who do you need Grant in there to cover more than Hauser? Like I feel like Indiana's a smaller team for the most part, aside from Turner. Like even Tice off the bench is not as big, so you really don't need to throw Grant out there. You have Saturday in your sights, and you're kind of making sure he's fresh if they have to throw him in Embiid.
Sure.
There's definitely other factors into it. I mean, he didn't really do a whole lot when he was out there. Missed the 1-3 he took, if I remember correctly.
Yes, but then he had another bucket too. He had 2 points.
He had an alley-oop.
He didn't do much.
He did a cool dunk.
Fun alley-oop, right? Getting up, showing the hops up.
Like he just did a dunk.
Hey, any
I don't even know if he moved his arms. He might have just went straight.
Any alley-oop for Grant Williams is a fun alley-oop. Come on.
I mean, I can't do one.
There you go. But I don't know. Interesting, especially considering, and I'm not a minutes police guy. Like, I don't care if Tatum and Brown play a lot of minutes. Well, that's what it's turned into. People get mad at the minutes. Let's call spade a spade.
I get
These
it
guys
to
are
an
25
extent.
and 26. I mean, in a game tonight, maybe you play Grant a little more because Jaylen Brown played 42 minutes. Jason Tatum played 41, almost 42. Like, that's a lot of minutes for those two guys. So maybe you try to get Grant in, but especially considering, and we'll get into this, those two did not have good games. They did not play well. Jaylen Brown a little bit better, but neither of them played particularly well in this one.
Well, Jaylen played well. Jesus.
There you go.
Played well in the first half. Sorry, I
Yes.
had water in my mouth and it just did not go well.
No.
Tatum played well in the second half. Or at least he played his better half in the second half.
Sure. That's not saying a lot.
Stepped it up.
Not saying a lot, though.
So you kind of got a solid star performance throughout. You just had to pick your spots. You weren't getting the whole service tonight. You got half from both, and it made a whole.
Jaylen was efficient. He was efficient. Turnovers were bad. So were Tatum's, and so was Smart's. Turnovers in general for the Celtics tonight were terrible.
Turnovers were bad.
But Jaylen's turnovers in particular, though, were just the head scratchers. Like, what are we doing? Like, that pass to Horford obviously is the clear example. Just like, he's just not.
That was just boneheaded all around.
Yes,
we already talked about it, but not a lot of time left in the game. Didn't need to rush there. You said it. He was open way before. And not only did you didn't need a bucket. The game was tied. So you really could have just sat on the ball and took it to overtime if you really wanted to. But you want to ensure yourself the last shot or like the best shot possible, which would be a layup or a dunk. Now, Jaylen Brown pushing the ball, throws it out of bounds. Plenty of time left. Could have just stopped. Could have slowed it up, taken it down, and really fought for a good look. He had an okay idea in mind, but he was just late.
Let me pull it up here. If you're listening on audio platforms, go watch on YouTube. We'll obviously describe it, but like,
here's going to be the play. I'll tell you,
to the YouTube
audio listeners, I'm going to get the crystal ball out. Jaylen Brown pushing the ball down the floor. It's a 2-on-1. Horford's open behind the defender. Jaylen Brown continues to dribble until the defender gets into better position, then proceeds to throw the ball out of bounds.
Let's see here.
Let's
take a look.
Will NBA.com work? Okay, so one defender, Haliburton back. He's at the free throw line. Actually, it might be the 3-point line.
Something like that.
Here comes Jaylen. He's at the 3-point line, then backs up. Horford is behind him.
Wide open. Horford is wide open.
Horford, by the way, not really cutting, though.
Not cutting. No, not soon enough. Well, he's shuffling in. He's
shuffling there. But if you're asking me, he should have been cutting earlier.
I guess, but Haliburton's like pretty close in front of him and with somebody at his side. Like, I understand why he didn't immediately cut to the basket because then they could have cut him off. But like, regardless, this is I would argue, a pretty easy pass to Al Horford here. Like, and just I don't know. Jaylen Brown like gets mad after it too. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I thought I got tipped.
Well, my thing is, Jaylen, what did you expect Al to do there? He's
old, dude.
Well, not even is he old. Like, Rob couldn't even have lobbed it from where Jaylen threw it, right? Like
that's just not an area to throw the lob. You didn't throw it close enough to the basket.
No, this isn't like Jaylen threw an oop and Al didn't jump for the oop. This is Jaylen threw an alley oop to 3-minute bowls stacked on top of each other and prayed that Al just grew into a 24-year-old, Robert Williams.
Well,
it's
like,
ridiculous.
He threw him an oop at like the mid range.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was just a terrible pass. It was just terrible, and the turnovers were bad all night for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown's were, like I said, pretty head scratching. But Jason Tatum, man, after a ridiculous All-Star game, could not make a shot. He just missed everything. Like you said, he bricked the layup in the fourth quarter. Like, nothing was going down for him. He couldn't hit his threes. Again, same guy, Daniel Porch from Celtics blog. He put something out. These are, Jason Tatum's last however many games, right? In February, 12 of 19 from the field, 3 of 15, 11 of 24, 5 of 15, 13 of 21, 3 of 16, 15 of 24, and then against the Pacers, let me quickly find the box score again. Last one, Jason Tatum, 9 of 25. he is consistently inconsistent. It is a flip-flop. Jason Tatum cannot shoot efficiently for 2 games in a row in February, and it is infuriating because you need him to play well for the Celtics to be at their best because he's the best player, and he just can't. And this is why the Celtics depth is so important. But like, you really like Jason Tatum to shoot consistently.
Yeah, this may be a hot take, but I personally would have rather had him play like he did tonight in the All-Star game, and then had the All-Star game be today.
Of course, I agree. I agree with you.
You know, it's funny how things change when defense is played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's just so funny. He made his first shot too.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a hot night for him, and then everything just went to crap.
Yep, missing layups. Scal acted like he died when he
that was funny.
He committed the charge. It's like not funny anymore because every time somebody like takes a tumble, Scal's like, oh, well, that guy died. Why don't we start writing the obituary now? Because there's no recovering from that. His career's over. Imagine if Scal was calling the game where Gordon Hayward broke his leg.
Yikes.
Now, I wonder if he would have like flip-flopped and been like, he'll be all right. He just needs to walk it off.
Like when it is for season ending, Scal doesn't.
Yeah, because every time somebody like so much as takes a charge, Scal's like, oh my God, they're done for the season.
Yeah, it's funny. I know you don't think it's funny, but I think it's funny.
It's so annoying because it's every time. Like Scal needs to change up. Listen. This is coming from a guy that's always talking about the fellas and the boys. Like I get it. Like sometimes you're all reliable. You have it. I don't need to hear about the 2-for-1 every quarter. I don't need to hear how it only takes 1.
Cornet contest. I'm sorry.
I don't need to hear about the Cornet contest. And I don't need to think somebody is going to have their season ended every time they go to the floor. Because and that one is the most serious because as a fan, you can't see everything the commentators can see. They're at the game for a reason, and that's their job to give you a window into what they're seeing and to add perspective to the broadcast. Now, if you have the guy acting like the player's season is over, you're going to start thinking that the season is over for at least a little bit of time. So you can't be screwing with people like that because it's really frustrating.
I agree with you. Now, speaking of the broadcast, I thought Grandy was great tonight. Sean Grandy was fire on the call.
I like Grandy. He's fine.
Awesome.
He can succeed, Gorman. That's fine.
I thought the what's it called? The War on Tice meme executed to perfection by Grandy on the broadcast. That was great.
I like Grandy. My dad thinks he's annoying, but I like him.
Really?
Dad, not a fan of Grandy. Doesn't like all his stats.
I love Grandy. I think I'm a stats guy, so I enjoy it. But
my dad, by the way, who's like always on his phone telling me stats, which is fine. Like I'm glad he enjoys it. But like he'll like pull up the box score and be like, oh, like they like they're shooting this from the field. Then Grandy's like throwing out stats.
Bit hypocritical for Mr. LaFrance there.
I know. He's the best, though. He's a trooper, watches all the games with me. He's the
man. Go. Love to see it. Other storyline, I have here Brogdon, D. White, good. I think that sums it up pretty well.
D. White, very good.
You're
Brogdon,
right.
very good. You know what was really great is that Derek White came off the bench and was still good. That was a concern from us earlier this year.
I agree.
Because he was getting thrown around so often, and when he was coming off the bench, he really wasn't as consistent. So is one game a big enough sample size? No, but it's a really nice step in the right direction after the All-Star break when you have your full team healthy for the first time in forever.
Agreed.
So it's pretty cool to see him come off the bench and still be solid, still be confident, being able to knock down threes, create tough layups off the drive, and convert them. I mean, he was really great, reliable. The float game is on point. Brogdon, money from three still, which is kind of funny because traditionally he's not like the best three-point shooter.
He's the best in the league this year, though.
No. This year, yes.
I know what you're saying.
Prior, no.
No. Well, in the past couple of years, no. But like he was 50, 40, 90 back in his early years in the league.
Okay.
He was let me see here. Let me check my math. Yeah, his rookie season, 40% from three. Next year, 38 from three. Year after that, 43. But then, like you said, in Indiana, 32, 38 in the shortened season, and then 31 last year.
Maybe that just speaks to the quality of shots he gets then.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But no, yeah, I mean, 45.5 this year from three, best in the league. Insane. Great. Now, Also, Derek White, obviously phenomenal, doing everything. Like you said, I was a bit worried about him coming off the bench, but he showed well. What we're not going to do, though, is start if these guys are this good, then do they need Marcus Smart? I'm not going to start those conversations.
Well, you know what they should do right now is trade him.
Yeah, right after the deadline, they should trade Smart.
Well, that's what they should do. Because they don't need him. Like they just had a month where they didn't have him. They were fine.
Yeah, they were great during that month, right? They were awesome.
Dumb idiots. Oh man, it's like the worst time for him to get hurt too, because like the Patriots season just ended.
Oh yeah, all those
and
guys,
like all the Patriots people are coming over, and they're like, "Oh man, like Mac Jones is real good, but they don't need Marcus Smart."
Yeah, great.
Mac Jones, by the way, he was not good. But
yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah,
phenomenal. No, yeah, Brogdon, D. White, great. Marcus Smart. Not the best game. Like you said, he had a strong overtime. Turnovers were a bit questionable, but
big captain energy from the man today. Stepped up big time, posted up, drew an egregious foul in overtime, but that's neither here nor there. Even though I will say that one more than the Jaylen Brown one was a foul to me because he hit him on the way up. But
sure. Good.
Kind of egregious. He got bailed out probably by the defense, not the officials, because it was a foul. He hit him on the wrist on the way up.
Sure. Came up big when it mattered, though. Good for him. Just a good game by the Celtics guards, especially D. White.
And he said, look at me. I can make free throws. Take notes.
Yeah,
fellas.
There you go.
Jason, Jalen, both missing free throws.
I will say, I think I mentioned this on an earlier pod. Everyone talks about like the Celtics shooting struggles at time this year. It's not the role players, in my opinion. Right?
No, it's not.
It is Tatum and Brown. They're having
it has been at times,
season.
But primarily it's not.
But like Derek White went through a cold stretch. Sam Hauser went through a cold stretch. But for the most part, like Horford's been pretty consistently great this year. Brogdon's been consistently good. Derek White had his lull, but he's back to being money.
Brogdon
Sam
had
Hauser's
a small
back
lull
to being
too.
money.
Horford, I don't remember him really falling off a cliff.
Grant's been pretty good this year. I know he's had his quote unquote struggles, but like let's not act like he's not doing.
By the way, talking about a Brogdon lull and he's first in the league.
Yeah, right. Literally.
But it's true. It happened.
Like Tatum and Brown have been bad shooting the ball this year, objectively. Like both, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to check my math here, but both career lows. Tatum is attempting, first of all, the most 3-pointers per game ever in his career, 9.3. 35.7, not a career low, second career low. Last year was a career low, 35.3, but like right around a career low on a career high attempts, which is not ideal. Jaylen Brown, who has been a 36.6% shooter throughout his whole career, 33.1 this year on
what's Marcus shoot
attempts. For reference, let me restate it. 33.1 for Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart is at 33.3. So there you go. How's that?
Yeah, so all of you idiots that don't want him shooting threes, there you go. Now, that doesn't mean that's a great percentage because it's not, but he's also not chucking. He's really not chucking this season. He's been very disciplined and it's been making pretty good decisions for the entire year. I do feel as if both Jason and Jalen are getting the toughest looks of their careers, probably.
I'm about to go look to see if
defenses
like open
are more likely than not paying more attention. And if the shots are open, if the stats disagree with me, that's because those guys are creating the open shots. But just because you've created an open shot does not mean it's physically easy to make. You have to be balanced. You have to regain your footing. There's a lot that goes into making shots off the dribble.
Sure. I'm on teams, not shooting players. Hold. I almost had
this is a disaster. I'm all out of stuff to say.
Hey, I'm almost there again. Don't worry. I'm almost there. We're getting there. No, I know what you mean. And there's definitely more that goes into it than just the stat that I'm about to pull up. But like at its core, like they're shooting close to career lows. And that's
I hate when I have a take and then the stats immediately tell me I'm wrong.
Tatum is shooting 44.7%, but only 1.4 of his threes are wide open this year. Jaylen Brown, meanwhile, is shooting 40% on 1.5 open threes. Both not terrible, but still not ideal, right? On wide open threes. Like they're good, but the other argument to be made is if you're not getting a good three, why are you taking the three? Right? You know what I'm saying?
Because there's that half hope that they get fouled now. And you see them get bailed out. The Jaylen Brown, although it may have been a foul because he touched him, very soft call and very much a bailout.
See, this is the bulk of it too, though. On open threes, quote unquote, which is the defender 4 to 6 feet away, which is still like an open, like that's an open shot. Jason Tatum, 34.7% on nearly 5 attempts a game. Jaylen Brown, 33.2 on 4.5. That's where the bulk of the problem is, right? If you're like open threes, you're shooting around 35%. Like example, Horford's at 42, Sam Hauser at 40.7, Brogdon 39.6, Grant at 39, Muscala 37, even Smart at 35. Like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown being, 34.7 and 33.2 on like by far the most attempts in that, shot range on the team. Like that's where your shot percentage is going in the better.
The shot percentage going down. And though those shots are open, I'm still going to say they're definitely hard shots. Like those are definitely not easy looks. Those are looks that they probably had to work for, break down the defender. They're not getting the same open to wide open looks that Al Horford or Grant Williams is getting. They're not getting those shoot looks.
I'm going to look at let me compare it to theirs last year so we can see if it's actually done. So remember these. 34-7
it's still going to be similar story. Like last year they still had to make their own looks.
My point is I'm curious to see if they were shooting better on those looks last year. So it was the 35 or 34-7 33-2. Excuse me, last year for the Celtics. Jason Tatum, okay, I guess you're right, around the same, 35 and 35. So a slight dip, but like it's interesting to me to see that why are they shooting that much worse than they have in the past? Right?
Because
particularly Jaylen, because Jason's is about the same as last year.
This season, last season, and the year before, even the year before, actually we'll include the year before in this, okay? These last 3 seasons, they have been primarily the guys, okay? The year before that, Kemba Walker's on the team. The 2 years before that, Kyrie's on the team. And it's not really their team yet.
Okay.
The year with Kemba, the first year when they were still good, it was a transition into becoming Tatum's team. But at the beginning of the season, it was not. And I would guess that a lot of Tatum's looks were not made up by as much of a bulk of shots he had to create.
Sure. Okay. I understand.
Throughout their careers, their shot difficulty is definitely increased.
I just wish, and I know you share this same thought process. I wish some of Tatum's contested threes were drives.
Agree.
And I think that's a part of it.
I think they both shoot too many.
You make a good point, though. Like they're not getting as easy shots, and you can't just compare it to the threes that
It's just hard. Like it's a leveled thing. It's not black and white. There's gray area. Like
no.
Do I think they should be taking a bunch of threes? No. Do I think that all the threes that the Celtics take are bad? No. I think a lot of the catch and shoot threes they take are good shots, but I do think they need to get better at reading the room when things aren't going well and getting themselves a quality look that's a higher percentage shot.
I understand. Yeah, sorry. I just saw Greeny tweet, Joe is a psycho and I love it. So I want to listen to this and see if it's something we should talk about. 1 sec.
Okay.
It is a 3-second clip, so feel free to fill.
Okay. Oh, man. I am cooked. I'll tell you what, while Jack was playing Rocket League, my knee was being stretched out as I worked my way back to being on the streets running.
It is. Did they foul Aaron Nesmith on something?
He had to add one late in overtime to tie the game.
It's something. Somebody asked him something along the lines of, "Were you ready or willing to foul Aaron for that ball?" or something like that. And he just goes, "I was. It was fun." It's just, I don't fully understand the context, but it just, Joe Mazzulla is one of the most interesting persons in the press conference I've ever seen. It is incredible. He does not care. He does not give a single
doesn't care. I'm not convinced he's respecting you guys that much.
Well, he doesn't care. All he cares about is the team, which is, I respect it, and it is fun. But he's interesting at the very least. But
it is funny now that like I'm doing heavy like you, and part of what we do is we'll listen to pressers to see if there's anything interesting. Very different. And right? A lot of these either players or coaches kind of have an understanding that they can make or really make a job difficult for somebody.
Oh yeah.
If you're giving them good answers, it's easy to write. But if you're giving somebody one word or nothing, like they have nothing to write about.
Mm-hmm.
The people asking you the questions are asking them for a reason. They're not screwing with you. They're writing up a piece. Now I can understand shorting someone if you think they're going to slam you.
Sure.
But if you're just doing it for no reason, you're kind of being a dick.
It's funny, but yes, at times.
It is funny. Like, there is a funny, like, if you do it once in a while.
Well, Joe does give mostly good answers, but some of the short ones are funny. And I will say, some of the times
I don't disagree.
Some of the times Joe is short with the media. It makes for better content because you can like spin those one-off answers and make a piece around it because it's entertaining. But
well, I don't mean for us. I mean for the people that are like, or like if you're doing a Celtics blog piece where you're
yes, that's what I'm talking
a narrative about. And you're getting those quotes to help your story.
Well, I'll give you an example. It is annoying sometimes. Sorry, I had to cough. When Joe gives short answers when you want a long response, but like I remember he was asked about what Sam Hauser has done to earn the trust of him in the rotation earlier in the season, and his answer was he just goes not miss, and that was perfect, right? I ran with that as the piece, right? So like stuff like that, it's fine, but it is somewhat frustrating, but also funny when he gives you short answers.
It's just like you guys have a job to do too.
Exactly. But anyways, I think that probably wraps up the Pacers game. Free throws were bad. We talked about that. Turnovers bad. Talked about
a shot that I can commonly say I would have made every time.
There you go. But we can do a short look ahead to the Sixers game. I mean, we don't have to go into in-depth detail, but Celtics have the Sixers on Saturday. Yep. You guys are listening to this tomorrow, so when they play the Sixers,
Friday, little end of the week treat for you. You might have said, "Wow, we got one Wednesday." And they're giving us another one? Wow.
There you go.
They're good guys. You know what you should do to reward us is if you use SeatGeek, if like Lewis, our good friend in the chat,
Beast,
use promo code HBTC, save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Let us help you go see what you want to see, whether it's the Celtics, another game, comedy, concert, theater, whatever it is. We'll help you pay for it. HBTC at checkout, and you'll save $20. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah.
Lewis, by the way, he's going to that Sixers game Saturday.
There you go. Beast. Absolute legend, Lewis. In Philly, both of the Celtics games against the Sixers are in Philly for the remainder of the season. But this is a big one because if they win, it clinches the season series, I believe. They're up 2-0 right now, right?
They at least have a draw. But yes, this is a big game. And here's why. Besides the obvious.
Well, yes.
You just beat Philly minus 3 of your 5 starters for half the game, or for the whole game, and 4 of your 5 starters for the second half. You were without both your starting big men against Embiid, who people say is an MVP candidate.
He is.
Okay. And you maintained and kept him in check for the most part past the first quarter without Horford, without Rob Williams. You had really no business winning that Sixers game. You did. You went up 2-0. And this team continues to not be able to beat you. How much of a mental edge should you be having on Saturday? I'd say a big one. And if you're able to go in there and win Saturday, probably with Philly having a chip on their shoulder, they just beat Memphis tonight in what was a chippy, close game against a good team. They're probably confident. They've got the game circled. They're embarrassed by that loss at the Garden on February 8th. If you go in there and you take care of business at Wells Fargo, or if they change the name, I apologize, but that's what I know it as.
It's Wells Fargo, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Then that's a huge mental edge. That says, we know you were ready for us, and we still kicked your ass. And we kicked your ass when we didn't have our team, and we kicked your ass on opening night too. So if you play us in the playoffs, what do you think is going to happen again? If you're the Celtics, that's what you would be saying if you win Saturday. If you lose, it becomes a little bit more gray area there.
Yeah.
Then people start to talk. Are the Sixers legit? There's been a lot of talk over the All-Star break. Are the Sixers on the same level as Milwaukee and Boston? You beat them Saturday. A lot of people shutting up. Got to tell you that.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Sixers aren't a good team. They are absolutely one of the better teams in the NBA, right? Like they've been hot. Joel Embiid is an MVP candidate, no matter what you say. James Harden has learned to be more of a facilitator and an efficient three-point shooter at that. Tobias Harris is adapting well into his role. Blah, 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 all that good stuff. Now,
Embiid, by the way, is a player who they're just begging to have the MVP every year. Every year, they're like, please give it to him, please.
And Jokic takes it away like candy. But and he might again this year. How funny would it be if Jokic came in first, Embiid second, like both past 2 years? That'd be hilarious.
That would be criminal if Embiid was second over like Tatum or Giannis.
I know, but I'm just saying it'd be funny. It's going to be a tough game, right? It's not going to be easy. The Sixers are going to come in, like you said, with an edge. But it is a game the Celtics have shown they are capable of winning. And at the very least, just don't. In my opinion, the worst possible situation is a dud, right? I know you sometimes like to say, "Oh, I'd rather them get blown out by 30 than put up a fight and lose." Absolutely not. Like again, especially in a game like this, putting up a dud would not only shift a mental edge back to the Sixers, but like you have to show that you can play. And I have no doubt that the Celtics will do that. This isn't me saying like expecting a dud, but like I think it will be a very good game, and I think the Celtics should be able to close that game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how well they defend Embiid, especially with Horford and Rob healthy too. So I'm very excited for it. I think it'll be a really good one. But the Celtics
to combat that, I agree for the most part. You don't want to get spanked by Philly if you go in there and lose by a lot. It's not a good look. However, if you do that, the only positive silver lining you can take away is they didn't beat you in crunch time. They don't have that on you yet.
No,
you lose
come
a game
on.
in crunch
That's such
time,
a lame.
it is lame. However, in the playoffs, you expect to play a crunch time game. So say you get matched up with Philly in the playoffs, I would say you still have a little bit of a mental edge should the game be close.
See, I never subscribe to the idea that getting blown out is better than losing a close game. No, I just don't agree. I
don't think it's better. I just think there is a silver lining to
it. I guess. I don't know. But yeah,
and there's
Sixers,
a silver lining to losing a close game. You didn't get blown out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then you can start like making excuses like you're Max Strus in Game 7. You're like, oh look, they called me out of bounds in the second quarter.
Boo-hoo. But yeah, Celtics Sixers play tomorrow as you're listening to this. Big game for them.
8:30 prime time ABC.
Oh, is it 8:30? I didn't even know that.
Yep, it's that prime time game.
Is it on NBC as well or just ABC?
Probably just ABC.
Gotcha. All right. We don't know who's on the call. Anyways,
I think I had to guess you're getting Mike Breen.
Which is a treat. Would be great. Has he called a Celtics game this year? He has to have.
He was on the Lakers game.
Okay, there you go.
So
did you see him talking to JJ Redick about how he thinks he botched that first Celtics Nets game?
And when they asked him that question, that was the first thing I thought of.
He was very upset.
Breen is very rarely off, and if you don't know what we're talking about, he was on the Redick pod, and Redick and him were talking about
Redick pod.
Do you ever feel like you messed up? When you mess up, do you really think about it? And Breen answered, yeah, like the one time recently I really felt like I messed up was in the first round Celtics Nets last year when Tatum made the layup at the buzzer. Breen thought they called the shot off. So he didn't really have like a banger call like Breen typically would, being one of the greats, if not the greatest to ever do it. So he remembered that, said like he couldn't like sleep for a day or two. He was very broken up about it.
Yeah.
Breen rules. And if you haven't listened to that pod, you should, because he tells all his story and he almost quit broadcast. It's
I'll need to do it. I'll need to listen. I haven't listened to the full thing yet. But two more things quick before we do cards, and then we can wrap up.
It's fine.
You know those stats where it's like, oh, this player did this in this many minutes for the first time in this.
Yeah,
you know
I hate those stats. And I think I hate those stats because they're just stupid.
I got one for you. Sam Hauser is the first non-center / power forward in Celtics history.
Let me guess, 2 blocks in less than a certain amount of minutes.
To record 3 blocks in a game worth playing less than 15 minutes. So there you go for Sammy.
Care.
But the other thing
is, his number in the roster or the Raptors, my God.
A bit more relevant. How about Chris Duarte hitting another buzzer beater on the Celtics tonight?
Yeah, I thought of your little list as soon as it happened.
I have the list.
Yeah, list.
Players, I had to update it tonight. Players who have hit a 3-point buzzer beater, which it doesn't have to be at the end of the game.
You want me to name them?
Any quarter, sure. There are 2 players have done it twice, and then there's 3 more. So 5
Duarte's done
players.
it twice.
Yes, he has.
Curry did it twice.
Those are the 2 twice. 3 more.
Drew Holiday did it once.
Yep.
How many are left?
2. 2 left here. I can give. They're both West.
Both West teams. Okay. Oh boy.
And it's not Jordan Poole. People think Jordan Poole.
He
hasn't done it this season. He did it in the finals last year multiple times, but one is a California team, one is a Texas team. So that should help you.
Oh dear.
Are you struggling?
I'm trying to think.
I can give you the teams. Can I just give you?
I'm like flipping through my head.
Clippers and Rockets.
I don't even remember the Clippers game, to be honest with you.
Norm Powell.
Okay, and Rockets. That's a crapshoot. I have no idea.
Jalen Green, Norm Powell, and Jalen.
I don't remember either of those shots.
It's probably good to erase it from your memory. But yeah, Celtics. Someone did the math. Frosty Bias on Twitter, legend. He said 7 in 60 games. So it happens a little bit less than once every 8 games, which is crazy.
It's very common.
Nuts. Has to be the most in the league. I wish they tracked it. But anyways, for those who don't know, we'll wrap up here. the cards gifted by Uncle Dan, legend of the pod and the pregame show. Check out the pregame streams, by the way. We're getting some love there. 30 minutes for
Pregame
every
stream,
Celtics game.
once again, banger today. We had a good show. Chat was good. A lot of people.
How about them Celtics on YouTube? 30 minutes for every Celtics game.
Facebook,
but these cards,
heavy Facebook, wherever you want to watch it.
Yes. These are who's the man. So we'll get clues. You get 5 points. If you get it on the first one, 4 on the second, etc., etc.
But if you're Jack and you're not very good at it, then you get 10 points, 8 points, and so on.
I get double points. Well, that is because I am currently losing 232 to 142. I'm trying to keep it under 100, and we only have a few cards left. So we'll do what do we want to do 5, or do you want to slow it down since we're getting less? Bless you.
That cough.
I say bless you regardless. All right, first card of the day. Drafted out of USC by the New Jersey Nets in 2001.
I know who it is.
Is it Scal?
It is Scal.
There we go. All right, well, that's great for me. Making up some ground instantly because I'm getting double points now. I weaseled my way into that. So I take 5 points back on Sam, which is beautiful. Love to see it. Second card. Quick card. Rapid fire. Got in the first guess, that one. Born in Flower Mound, Texas on March 6th, 1994. Oh. Ooh. So Texas. I'm gonna wait one because I have a guess and I want to pull, but I don't want to just in case I'm wrong. So are you gonna guess now, or are you gonna? A big part of me wants to just go for it here, but I have a bad feeling that I might be wrong, and so I need the points.
I'm gonna go to 4 too.
Okay, good.
I have a guess as well, but there's a lot of people that could be.
Set a new career high when he scored 37 points against the Suns in January 2020. I know who it is. I should have guessed. I absolutely should have guessed. Are you still lost? Oh, this would be huge for me. Can I put it in the chat?
I'm not looking in the chat, but don't move on yet. I gotta think for a second.
Oh, amazing. Oh, Sam's gonna make me feel dead air again while he sits there.
37 points in 2020.
I could have pulled on first one and I would have gotten it, but I'm deeply upset that I didn't now.
I'm mad as hell.
You want to go 3 points?
37 points.
You're gonna be pissed. You're gonna be so mad. Can I go to next? Tell me go next.
Yeah, just go to next because you want to go.
Tested positive for COVID-19 on March 20th, 2020, 8 days after Rudy Gobert. That's not gonna help him. I don't think that helps you, does it? Oh, I'm so excited.
It's Marcus.
It is Marcus.
Yeah, it is Marcus. That's really bad. I can't believe I didn't get that.
I am ecstatic. How do you not get against the Suns? 3-point record.
Did you say 3-point record?
No, but like against the Suns, yeah, that's gonna be.
I didn't remember that. Like off the top
of my head. 11
I remember everything. I can't believe that.
And I know he's from Texas. I should have gotten that.
Yeah, my first guess was Cornette.
Is he also from Texas?
Yeah, he's from Texas too. But I was like, I don't know how recent these cards are, so I'm not gonna guess.
Well, Tristan Thompson's in here somewhere, so it's pretty recent. Wow, I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
I wonder what. Yeah, it's
big leap there. All right, next. Played 336 games for the Celtics from 1999 to 2004. This is going to be a rough one for Jack.
I mean, there's like a million people that could be, but go on.
4 points. Played for 6 different teams: the Nuggets, Celtics, Cavaliers, Magic, Nets, and Sixers during his 15-year NBA career. Oh, wow.
I wonder if that's in order.
Nuggets, Celtics, Cavs, Magic, Nets, Sixers. Maybe it could be in order. I'm not sure. I don't think that helps me, though. Named first team Big 12 while playing for Texas Tech in 97.
That doesn't do anything for me. 97 draft.
2 points, shall we?
I have like a couple guesses, but I'm not going to throw them out there. I don't know.
6'11" center forward who set a Texas Tech career record with 162 block shots. Doesn't help me either. I just don't know.
I'll put it in the private chat, but I'm just like a pull.
All right. Selected 5th overall by the Nuggets in the 97 draft. I don't know.
That's correct.
It is Tony Petit.
Oh, bang! I hit it.
2 points for you?
That was a pull, yes.
Wouldn't have gotten that. 2 points for Sam. All right. Fourth card, right? This is 4.
Yeah, that is like my biggest blind spot is that.
Yeah, that era I'm not going to get. Earned a basketball scholarship to play for Bill Reinhart at George Washington University.
George Washington.
I don't know.
Missoula's brother, by the way, George Washington.
Missoula's brother?
Yep.
How'd you know that? I almost wanted
because he went to. I had Spanish class with Missoula's brother.
Oh, like he was a teacher?
No. He was in my grade.
Oh, what? He went to your school?
Yeah, we went to the same
Why?
school for 2
Why have
years.
we never talked about this?
I
Why
thought we
have you
did
never
talk about this.
Never. You've never said that.
Oh, well, yeah, I had the class with Missoula's brother. Also had class with Quiddy Pay.
Who?
Quiddy Pay plays for the Colts.
Oh, okay, there you go.
He got drafted in the first round last year.
I almost wanted to go to George Washington because I love DC. I have nothing though. Next.
No, I got nothing.
Born in Brooklyn, New York on September 20th, 1917. Wow. All right. Well, that explains our confusion. Shall we go to next? Because I couldn't tell you. Not even close.
Oh, I kind of want to pull. I'm going to pull.
Have fun. Served as head coach of the Washington Capitals in the Basketball Association of America. Doesn't help me.
I might have got this right.
Remembered for his courtside victory cigars.
I got this right.
Is this red?
It is red. Bang! 4
Damn.
points, pulling from the half court logo on that one.
Luckily for Jack, I tie Sam on that one because I get double points.
We got one more.
We do. Hold on. Let me count how many cards are left. 1, 2, 3. There are 4 cards left. So we'll do one now. And then next time with cards, we'll have 3. And then we'll be done.
Be emotional.
With the cards.
You got to find something else to do.
We do. I'll look on.
We're going to have to start guessing number between 1 and 10. Just see who's good at it.
Next, drafted by the Celtics in 2004 after spending his junior and senior seasons at Oklahoma State.
Oh, man.
What the hell? 2004. This is dead zone. This is a dead zone. No shot. You're pulling. Do it. Yeah, I want you to get 0. All right. Played in 75 games, starting in 11 for the 07-08 champion Celtics. I don't know.
I don't know if.
I don't know.
I think I got this right.
Named to the NBA All Defensive Team 6 of the 7 seasons he spent with the Grizzlies. It's Tony Allen. Did you get it?
Yeah, it's Tony Allen, and I got it right.
Unfortunate. All right. Well, did you get 10 points or 4 points?
I got 10.
Wait, or 5 or you don't get double. Hell no.
Oh yeah,
I got 5. Okay. 51 and I got 6, so I still beat Sam on that card. Thank you. All right. We don't worry. Jack fans in the cards. We closed the gap. We're only 81 points down now.
Paul.
Now, hear me out, Sam. For these last 3, I'm trying to do the math to see how many double or triple or 10 times points I could do for me to catch up. I get 10 times points on the last 3 cards. Thoughts?
No.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, give me 10 times points. Come on.
No, because even if I get 5 every single time and you get it right, I would lose.
Give me 5 times points. Wait, can I catch up if I do 5 times points?
Yeah, you can do 5 times.
If I get
if
I get all 3 on the 5, I win. Thoughts?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You're just look.
What? No, you have no proof. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We greatly appreciate it. As always, my thing, subscribe to the YouTube channel. How about them Celtics? We've been getting a lot of subs there lately, a lot of love on the pods. We greatly appreciate it. We have a very cool special podcast coming for you guys at the
to kick off a month-long type theme.
Yes, and we'll get to that. We'll tease it here, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we appreciate it. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics on YouTube. Leave a like, greatly helps the algorithm. Leave us a like, leave a comment. Tell us how handsome we are, as Sam would say in the comments.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'll let Sam wrap it up.
If we ever do an NBA podcast, for the whole league, which I'm not convinced we'll ever do, but if we do it, it's handsome guys talking hoops. That's what it is. That's what it needs.
That's a phenomenal podcast name.
Yep. Or Handsome Hoops Podcast.
I think we should do that. I think we should do a Handsome Hoops
But
podcast.
I see, the thing is, I can't really hold my own. It'd be you talking and me saying nonsense.
Maybe.
You'd
But
be
okay.
I really think Damian Lillard is getting the shaft because he's being loyal, and I'd be yeah, man, he does cool raps.
All right. That's a great name, though. I like it. Anyway,
it is a good name.
Continue.
Please don't steal it. We've already had our name stolen once.
This is true.
Very PTSD. All right. Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're on YouTube. Jack already told you, make sure you subscribe. You can see us there. We are handsome. And if we do an NBA podcast, then that's what it'll be called. You already know we're handsome. But you can also leave a like and a comment. Very much appreciated if you do. We've got a good amount of likes on the last pod, good amount of comments. One guy said he found us through the algorithm and he stayed to watch the whole thing. So it was pretty cool of him. Made my day, made Jack's day. But make sure you subscribe. Almost at 300. So more we get, the closer we get to making you guys t-shirts. Some of you asking.
At 1,000, you guys will get T-shirts.
1,000, you'll get T-shirts. Not
you,
sure how many
Landon.
will sell, but we'll do it. If you're listening, I think we did a pretty good job at making it a good listen today. You didn't have too many dead spots. If you are there, whatever service, Spotify, Apple, some obscure one, follow, leave a good review. Jack and I both left a good review last time. We did. We went back. We're not hypocrites. We practice what we preach. We gave
on
5
Spotify.
stars.
On Spotify, click the 3 dots under the podcast for extra options. Rate the show. That's where you do it. I learned that the other day, so go do it. It helps. Thank you. Actually,
5
last time we did it, when I said that, I don't think we had a single review. I was checking. I made my mom do it. Just, you gotta get the support from the family. You know how many there are now? I mean, let me take a look, double check my math in case it's increased. Since I said that, 12 reviews.
12.
Well, so we appreciate
that's only
you guys
3
listening.
that we know about.
Exactly. It is you, me, and my mom, and that's 8 other people rating the pod.
That's pretty good.
We greatly appreciate it. We currently have a 4.9 stars, and you know what that means? Not everybody rated
what
it
the
5
hell?
stars. You know what though? Hey, at least that shows that some
you're
people
lucky we don't
honest.
know who you are.
Hey, at least it shows they're being honest out there. And at least we know that the 4-star didn't come from one of us. Right?
Who the hell's rating it 4 stars? Like, seriously, like, who likes us enough to go, like, review it? Because we asked people to review it last time.
Please do, and do it again.
But, like, only gives us a 4-star.
It's very funny, though. Hey, we appreciate you. And, hey, I'll say this. I'm going to check again by next pod. Every pod, I'm going to check and see if there's a new review. Again, the 3 dots under the podcast on Spotify. Hit rate the show. Rate us however many stars you think we deserve.
No. You do 5.
Preferably 5.
You see 1 star, take it 5 times. You got it. 5 stars.
Well, thank you for the ratings and keep it coming. We appreciate you all.
Make sure if you're using SeatGeek, use promo code HBTC, just like our boy Lewis, who's going to the game against the Sixers. When you're listening tomorrow, he got a discount. You can get one too. Be like Lewis. Very loyal listener. Gets a
hashtag be like Lewis.
Be like Lewis. That's what you want. And that's what we want. He's the first one. We've only been doing it for like a month.
Beast.
We get this ticker and I read it and I read it funny and he finally did it. Socials. How about them C's? Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at How About Them C's. Facebook is just the name of the pod. We're live on the Facebook, live on the Twitter, every pregame, every time we do one of the weekly streams.
30 minutes before every game.
We are there. You can see us, sometimes with Tim. He'll be there too.
Legend. Tim the Legend, yes.
You can follow Jack at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. Good tweets, good Celtics blog work. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. Good tweets, good pictures of me when I'm sick. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.